Hey, cool cats, welcome back to Mental Health Music Lessons with Imanni Music. Hey there, my name's Imanni. I write music for mental health awareness. Let's get started with some composition lessons today. On our last lesson, we were writing music onto the computer and we just wrote a bass line. And I realized that I like the bass line, but I want a more simple bass line too. Variety and repetition are the meat and the potatoes of music. They allow us to be able to really have rich, diverse music to share with others and especially enjoy ourselves. For that reason, I'm going to add some variety into this bass part. Okay, here's the bass part I was able to write. Now, I like that bass part, but I don't think it has the right timbre. Timbre in music is the type of sound that an instrument makes. Some timbres sound great with other instruments, and some don't. And understanding which ones work well and don't work well is based off your own opinion. It's whatever you feel inside. And you can use that to your advantage to convey a message. In this moment, I want to convey that all these instruments fit together and they are a mold together with one single message. So for that reason, I'm going to change the sound of the bass part. Here's the new bass sound I found. To add some more stability, I'm going to have some kick drum happening on the downbeat here. Okay, there we go. Writing music is a little bit like cooking. I like to think of it as like, oh, you taste it a little bit, it's like, that tastes good, but I want a little bit more, I want a little bit less of this, and changing things around, and it constantly evolves into something different. So in the last video, I was talking about how I want the kick drum to happen on the offbeat to get some momentum, but now I realize there's too much momentum and I can't figure out where that downbeat is. So that's why I added kick drum on the downbeat. I'm also going to add some snare. This isn't an exact snare sound, but this is how a snare sounds on this electronic instrument. I added it on the offbeat to add some more consistency to know where that downbeat is. In the end, our drum part now sounds like this. Music rhythms like to have momentum by leading into the next downbeat. So many times you may see a rhythm that is slow, slow, and then fast, 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 downbeat, because it's trying to lead into that downbeat strike. So I took a moment to edit that snare part on the drums. Some of the snare parts stayed the same, such as the parts that happened on the offbeat. You can tell where an offbeat is by looking in between two downbeats, and downbeats are shown by numbers. So you can see that this would be the offbeat, and there it is right over there. So we have some of these notes that remain the same, but I added some very little fast notes, notes that are coming closer together right before downbeats to create a little bit more momentum. This is what that part sounds like now. Now there still sounds like there's something missing in this song. It doesn't sound all together. The timbre of the music isn't fitting. So I looked at the instruments again and I noticed that all of them are electronic instruments except for the piano, which is acoustic. So I'm going to try to change the piano to a synthesizer to see if it molds and melds closer to the other instruments in the song. I think I'm getting close to finding the right piano. This is the piano or synthesizer that I chose. It's called Emotive Pulse, and this is also stock Logic instruments, so anyone that downloads this software will have these automatically in their library. still feels a little bit intrusive, so let's try to go into that instrument and see if we can change some minor parts of it to make it sound better. We can do this by clicking on this image over here in those 3 lines, and then this instrument's back end shows up in front of us, and we can edit how the different waves, well, we can edit a lot, and I'll talk in detail about it. This big thing may seem really complicated, but it's especially looks complicated because it's so small. Let's zoom into something specific and take it one step at a time. Let's first take a look-see at the oscillator. Oscillation is simply the motion of waves in music. All songs, like we talked about before in past lessons, are made up of wavelengths, and they move like this, and that creates sound to our ears. Using the oscillator allows us to change the way that the wave moves. So maybe we'll make it more jagged, maybe we'll make it a little bit shakier or more analog to it. We're going to do different things, and thankfully our oscillator shows us some pictures to show us how that wave changes. So we can see here in our oscillator, and I'll get this mouse, that there are 2 shapes involved, which means that it's taking a combination of those 2 shapes to create a final one. So let's just play around a little bit and play this song and change up some things of the shape. I feel like this synthesizer sounds too rugged. It sounds a little bit too harsh, which means that it has a more like sawtooth shaped wave form that's going on behind the scenes. So that means we want to smooth it out so it sounds more relaxed, more chill, more like water. So let's do an experiment together where I change the wavelengths to reflect this. Oh no. Let's try this one. That sounds nice. Ooh, I like that. Let's hear what it sounds like in context. Okay, cool, Cat. I think this is a good milestone to stab our little milestone flag that we have so that we can continue then on the next video with composition for this improvisation. Remember that everything you're learning right now is about helping you create music that will help you during sad moments of your life. And it's also a therapy simply creating something. If it's not music, maybe it's cooking, maybe it's drawing, maybe it's art, maybe it's playing an instrument. I encourage you to use creativity as a resource because, by the way, people don't want you to know, but it's free. I know. But truly, it is so healing writing music. So I'd like you to practice the little things that we talked about in this lesson, and I will see you at the following lesson. Feel free to drop me any questions or concerns you may have, direct message me, leave a comment below. I got you. I hope you have a mentally healthy rest of your day. Bye.